Josh.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Oh, no problem at all. I didn't even have you on the list. I'm very happy you texted me. I was just about to get up and walk away. It wasn't on my schedule, so I'm very pleased we're going to get to do this.
Oh, me too. I mean, definitely being a fan of the band for so long, it's an honor to be able to help promote the brand new album.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very proud of the new record. We all are. We have there's a lot of great songs on it. And we'll get into that for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And of course, the album in question is Saints of the Lost Souls, which comes out next Friday through Frontiers Music. So I guess the first question would be, how did this whole album come together?
Well, we have a system. I explain it to a lot of people. It's a great system. You know, and it's been the same way ever since we got together in 2005. I'll write a basic track, what I consider a song. I'll come up with parts all the time. I have my guitar in my hand all the time. I'm constantly writing riffs or whatever. And once I hit something that, really catches my ear, I'll keep going back to it and add a little more until I feel I have, almost a complete song. At least, a verse, bridge, an opening riff, verse, bridge, chorus, that type of thing. Then I go over to BJ's that's where our recording studio is, and our drummer, BJ Zampa, and I'll play it for him, and he's a very good writer and arranger himself, and we work on the song together, either move something, get rid of something, add something, whatever, and then we record it completely, not in demo form either. We always record as if we are recording for the record, and then we send it down to James, and James was in Florida. And he'll either, love it, not like it, work on it, whatever. It's if he feels it's right for House of Lords, then he goes the next step. And that's how things go. He'll either, then he starts producing it. So he might feel something needs to be changed, or he'll leave it exactly the way it is. And then he starts working on the melody lines, the harmonies, and he adds the keyboards. He does all the keyboards for House of Lords as well. And we never know what the song's going to sound like until he sends it back. And that's what the real treat of getting the songs back from him, because you never know until you hit the play button and you get to hear them, because they're usually really mind blowing. It really is. It's something to hear what he does. He's really gifted as a producer. He really is.
And that's the amazing thing about technology these days, is being able to not even be within driving distance of each other and being able to create amazing albums like this just through technology.
Yeah, we've done it from the very first record, Josh. We have never been in the same room as a band recording. It just it doesn't have to be like that. Is there benefits to it? I'm sure there are, but we haven't seemed to have any issues. We've had very good success right from the start, from when we did World Upside Down back in 2005. The album went over huge, and every record we've done since has been very well received by the fans, and the record label itself has never complained. They love every record that we've sent them, and this one. We always try to do something a little different at every record, whether it's a different rhythm to a song, a different vibe. What we've done here, we decided to add more keyboards into the record to try to bring back a little bit of the old sound of House of Lords, but not sacrificing the new sound of, with the big guitars and everything that we've had throughout all the records. Now, every House of Lords song has keyboards on it. You listen to a track like Cartesian Dreams, which is still one of my favorite songs from the third record, the title track. That song's got a very heavy keyboard synth line going down, and it's got this real heavy halftime groove, So it's not that we don't have keys in any of the songs, because every song has keys in it, layered in there somehow. This record, we just brought them forward a little more. Perfect example of one is the song Rain of Fire. I don't know if you've got to hear that song yet. That song actually has a mini Moog sound in it. We've never had that on any of the songs so far.
Oh, yeah, and I was going to ask about that, too, because I did receive the album, and I've been listening to it almost every day, and I love the direction that you guys are going in, and I love the fact that the keyboards are a little more upfront on this album, because I think it really adds something just a little bit more to it, and Rain of Fire in particular, it's great to see that mini Moog, and in full force with the song.
Yeah, and Josh, what's funny is that when I presented that song to BJ and when we did it up, it very much was like a straight AC/DC song almost. It had that type of vibe to it. And then we sent it down to James, and when he sent it back with what he did harmony-wise and melodies, and then we heard the mini move, we went, oh my God, this is like, at first we didn't know what to think. Honestly, like when we first heard it, we're going, what is, so we had to listen to it a couple times, and then the more I listened to it, it became one of my favorite songs. I'm going like, this is so cool, mini moog. Who would have thought,
Yeah, and that's the great thing about being able to be in a partnership with the bands where everyone can contribute, because some of those ideas may have never been thought of if it wasn't for ideas like that and having that separation.
Right. We have a really good writing unit. We like working with each other. After 7 records, we kind of know what to send James. Every once in a while, we'll still send him something. They go, we might say no on that. But we pretty much are spot on as far as sending him songs and what he likes to use, and we have a good working system.
Well, I can definitely say from a fan perspective, from start to finish, I mean, Saints of the Lost Souls it feels like an amazing House of Lords album. I mean, it just feels so natural.
Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. It just feels so natural. It's great having the keyboards a little more up front this time around, and just like you can tell that the entire band is very happy with the direction that the music is going in, and you can hear that from a fan perspective as well.
Oh, Josh, I appreciate that. Well, we have a new member too on this record. We welcomed in Chris Tristram, who we were very fortunate to get into the band. He used to be in Jack Russell's Great White, and he's an absolute perfect fit for the band. He's an amazing bass player. He sings great. But more important is he happens to be just one hell of a nice person and real easy to work with. He has an amazing personality, and that has a lot to do with working in a band situation. We all get along good. We get together as couples, and all go out with our wives, girlfriends, and stuff, and we go out to dinner and we do things. We go see shows. So we're friends, and that sort of thing happened instantly with him. It was amazing how well he just like fit in with us, and he's a monster player. He really is. And we have tours set up. We're all set to go. We're going to be we're heading to Europe at the end of August. We start off at the Hair Metal Heaven Festival, which is in Hull City, UK. And from there, we stay in Europe for 2 months, September and October. But more importantly, we just signed on with Ashley Talent International here in the U.S., and they're going to start promoting us and getting us shows here in the U.S., which is what the band's been wanting to do for us since, we've talked about this almost every record, about trying to build the band back in the U.S., back in the early days when Gene Simmons signed them, that's what they were. It was they were on tour with everybody here, playing big coliseums and everything. I know it was a different time. Music scene was totally different back then, but still, we have a fan base here in the U.S. I mean, we get emails and texts and Facebook messages all the time. Please play here. Please play here. We'd love to see you, and we want that to happen. And so we found this agency that wants to get behind the band and really do what it takes to put us out there.
And that makes me so happy to hear, because I was going to ask.
Yeah, because we're going to come to you. We're going to come and see you. Where are you again now? Where did you say you were?
I'm from Minnesota.
From Minnesota?
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to get to Minnesota.
Yeah.
I want to play there.
Oh, me too. And I want to see you guys. I mean, it's like the album is so good this time around that I really want to hear those songs live. And having not had the experience of being able to see House of Lords yet, I can't wait to see what you guys have lined up for Setlist, and, just like coming back to the U.S. in full force. I mean, it'd be such a great thing to see.
Yeah, well, that's it's funny you brought up the Setlist thing, because that's always the difficult thing, because You keep in mind, we have 7 records since I've been in the band, and then there's a prior 4 to that. Now, we don't do anything off of Power and the Myth, but we still have to do some songs from the first 3. And, so picking our set list is difficult at times because we have so many songs that we want to play, but we can't. So you try to figure out what is going to be your best selection of tunes that you could put into a 90-minute set. So here's what we usually do is we have about 6 of the old songs that we have to play. We love to play them, even though they were done before we were in the band. Can't Find My Way Home, Love Don't Lie, Want to Be Loved. We play Sahara, and we do Pleasure Palace, which was, the opening track from the first record. And we usually do an encore of Slip of the Tongue or something, which is, from the old days. But we usually pick a couple songs from each record. Now, every time that we did a record, we would have like when we first came out with World Upside Down, we went out with about 5 songs from that record because, we were able to. Now we only do 2 of them, and then we came out with "Come to My Kingdom." That's that album. We do the title track, and then we went on to "Cartesian Dreams." We do the title track from that. Then we went to "Big Money," and we do the title track for that. We try to keep at least 1 song from each record. What came after that? Oh, "Precious Metal." That album we do "Battle" still because that's a real great up-tempo song. We absolutely love playing that song live. And last year, we had "Indestructible," so we had done like 3 songs from that record. But now we've just kept "Go to Hell" because we have a video of that, of course. And now on this one, we'll be doing "Saint of the Lost Souls," "Harlequin," obviously because we have a video for that. And we're going to do the one of my favorite tracks is "Hit the Wall" because it's a beautiful mid-tempo ballad, and I love what James did to it. Everything, the vocal line, and I love how the song lifts for the chorus. The guitar solo section is very melodic, and every set needs one of those type songs in the set.
Yeah, I absolutely agreed, and that's why I've always been drawn to House of Lords is the dynamics of the band. I mean, besides it being so super melodic and so many great melodies and harmonies, it's all of the different dynamics and tempos that go along with it. So having those great ballads like "Hit the Wall" and mixed in with songs like "Harlequin," just naming off the first or the brand new album. I mean, it's great to see that diversity that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking with somebody about they happened to mention the song "Concussion" that's on the new record, and that song is a track, a beat we've never done on any of the House of Lords records so far. That doom, 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 that type of thing. It's got that. It's just got a cool groove to it. We've never done it before. So once again, we're not afraid to experiment with things. Even going back to what I said about the song "Battle." "Battle" has a gallop beat to it. I mean, you can't even name a House of Lords song from the early days that has a gallop beat. So it's we're not afraid to try something because no matter what we try, it still comes out sounding like a House of Lords song. It's because of how James produces them. He knows what House of Lords is supposed to sound like. We know how to write for House of Lords now, so we have a very good balance of what we're supposed to do.
Oh, just curious off of that, was there any ideas that you thought would have been perfect for House of Lords that got turned down eventually?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, there were a couple tracks that I'll tell you what goes on. We write about 16 to 20 songs for every record, which is a lot of songs. So sometimes by the end, once James has an idea of what he hears, you can't keep sending things because he's kind of locked in. He gets working on some songs, and sometimes you send them and they don't get the proper list to. Sometimes what happens is we go back. Now, for example, there's a song on the Saint of the Lost Souls record called "New Day Waiting." And that track is, I believe, from 2 records ago. I believe we wrote that, and it's finally getting put on this CD. That song was written prior, So you never know. Things, sometimes you write something, New Day Breaking, right? I believe it's called. You just never know when something's going to get used. So it's not like anything's ever gone, but sometimes it just gets put on hold and needs to, then you re-listen to it the next time. And of course, BJ and I have, another original project too with Chris McCarville, our old bass player. From House of Lords, the one that just left recently, called Max Explosion, and that's an all original project. And we use a lot of songs for that as well. So we write a lot, all the time, different types of stuff.
Yeah, and it's great to see that the material never gets thrown away, because you never know what might eventually fit into a different album. And it's great to see that with New Day Breakin', because that fits so great with the album.
Yeah, it does. It didn't fit. It didn't fit on Indestructible. Even though we had it, I think we had it for Precious Metal too, but we were trying to go, we were doing more heavier riffs on Precious Metal, and also on Indestructible, we were going a little bit heavier guitar-wise. So New Day Breaking just wasn't right for the record. This record, even though we have Saint of the Lost Souls, which is a huge heavy riff, there was a spot for that song on here. It just made sense, and it's a good song, and it deserved to be out on this record.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel that way about every song that made it onto the album, because it just kind of has that roller coaster of emotion feel. I mean, there's like a lot of great fast-paced moments. There's a lot of great slow melodic moments, and it just makes you want to listen to it from start to finish without stopping.
Yeah. One of BJ's favorite songs is The Other Option. That song was a lot of fun to record. Once again, that was one of those things that the way that I sent it to James, it got changed a bit in the chorus. Like I had the progression going, moving faster, going down, and he actually took one chord and held it longer and then brought it down to the last chord. He actually got rid of one chord. He actually, through the amazing Pro Tools and computers and stuff, he opted, the way his vocal line was going, he wanted to keep on this one main chord and then drop down to the what was my third chord, which became the second chord in the passage. So it's always interesting. You just never know how the songs are going to come back. And that's one of the fun things about House of Lords. To me, it is like hearing the songs for the first time. I remember even going back to A World Upside Down, when one of the first songs James finished, other than I'm Free was the first song that he finished and sent back, and that was great. But the second one was SOS in America. I remember getting that back, and I just was like, oh my God, this is so good. This is really, really good. And that's, when we send down the raw track, we like the raw track that we're sending, but when it comes back with all the vocals and keys on it, it just makes it that much better and sweeter, and you go like, wow, this is really cool. So it's like it's a treat for us, We're not hearing it completed, BJ and I, we're not hearing it the way it's going to be until it gets sent back. And then, so, we got double the treat, in other words, We get our version of it, and then the final version of it. Oh, it's great.
So with that, I mean, of course, with having that magical touch that he has to make the House of Lords songs even more stand out than they already do, does that make for a challenge for you when your parts get changed at all, or are you able to adapt pretty quick when that happens?
Oh, no. I adapt instantly to what his changes are. I've had a couple. I'll give you an example. The song Big Money. That song we sent down, and James heard another part right before the chorus, or in the chorus, that he was singing. So what he did was he spliced it, and he added a keyboard in there just so I could hear it. He goes, he says, I want you to play this on the guitar. And so the chorus goes, Big Money, and then it goes down, 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 this passage that he added. Well, he played that on a keyboard, and then I had to re-record the song, learn that part on the keyboard, and play it. So at first sometimes you got to wrap your head around it and try to understand it, because you try to cop the voicings he's using too, because he's obviously playing a certain voicing on the keyboard that he wants to use because it matches his vocal. It blends with what he's doing vocally. So we have to be very aware of that. I can't just go and play power chords when he's doing a certain voicing on the keyboards. In other words, you hear what I'm saying with that. So, yeah. But usually it's, cut and dry. We adapt really quick. BJ has a lot of work to do once the songs come back. He's got the most because, he could cut my guitar tracks easy. Like if he wants to move something, you could splice in a guitar track, no problem, and line it up to Pro Tools and boom, boom, it's done. You don't have to record it. The drums is a whole nother situation. Sometimes it could be fixed real easy, or sometimes the whole song has to be replayed. So BJ really has a lot of work to do, other than just redo, just what we do. All the songs go back to BJ after they're done, and then he's got work on top of that.
But again, it's like that really shows the chemistry that you all have. That, of course, it's down to a science now with being together for so long. But it's great to see that all of you can adapt so quickly to each other. I mean, whether he's rewriting parts for you, or what's right for him, or the production side of it, it's great to see all of this work that can be done within the band.
Yeah. James is real easy to work with, you'd have to know him. He's extremely intelligent and, like I said, an extremely gifted musician. He knows what the band's supposed to sound like. He plays so many instruments: bass, guitar, drums, keyboards. He sings incredible. He knows how to do it all, but he knows what House of Lords is supposed to sound like. We know what House of Lords is supposed to sound like, and we just work together extremely well. He's really easy to work with, and he's a lot of fun on the road. You talk about being able to bust somebody on the road. He's the one. We do stuff to him that's just like, we're not crazy because we're all older. It's not like we act like little kids, but we'll do things just to get under his goat a bit, bust down. We have a ball, a lot of friendship. It's really, really good.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing when you're on the road, because you're spending so much time with the people that you're playing music with and creating music with. So you want to make sure that you have that friendship level going on as well.
Yeah. Well, we ask for very simple things too. We're not, like I said, we are older. We're not young kids, and we don't put out a rider where we need 50 bottles of Jack Daniels, 50 cases of beer. Where James drinks a little wine. I don't drink at all. BJ has an occasional beer. It's not like that. The only thing that we require is we like to have our own rooms. Back when we first did our first tour together. We've doubled up a little bit, two in one room and stuff. But we're all older. We don't want it to be doubling up. We're on the road a long time. We're traveling in a vehicle for hours and hours from venue to venue, country to country. We want to just be able to go into our own separate rooms and just, supposing, when your room, one guy wants TV on, the other one wants to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. So I drove, and believe it or not, this all came about because of me, because I roomed with James when we first got on the road together. And I practiced guitar so much that I drove him nuts. I drove him to the point that he says, we got to have our own rooms. The God's honest story. I'm not lying to you. I drove him crazy by playing my guitar so much. He just ended up saying, "Okay, we got to each get our own rooms. This isn't going to work out like this." So, I knew what I was doing. I wanted my own room all along. So,
with that, was there like a particular riff or any style that you were playing that annoyed him like that, or was it just the fact that you were constantly playing that made it go that way?
It was the fact that I practice my leads the whole time, running scales, and it's not really a riff. I don't stay on like one particular riff at all. It's just constantly playing, but I play all the time. That's just me anyway. That's what I do in my hotel room when I'm out on the road. When I get up after we go down and have breakfast and whatnot, and we all decide, okay, we got a 2:00 lobby call. Soundtrack is at this time, dinner is at this time. Once I know the day's schedule, I start practicing, and I will practice right up to the point that I have to get into the shower and then get into the lobby. And then when I get to the venue, the guitar comes out, and we'll, do our sound check and stuff, go back to the hotel. and I'll play right up to the point where the car comes and picks us up again and brings us back to the venue. And then I'll practice the whole time until the show starts. That's just the way I am. I play. It's my routine. And I've done it ever since I was as far back as I can remember.
Yeah, and it's definitely paid off, and it definitely shows with the amazing playing that you and the entire band does on Saints of the Lost Souls, which of course is coming out next Friday through Frontiers. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this. It's a tremendous honor to be able to talk to you, to be able to promote everything that's going on, and hearing the news that you guys are going to be focusing on some US shows, because I think that's definitely needed. And I think this is going to end up being one of my favorite melodic albums of the year. I mean, you guys just absolutely nailed it.
Well, Josh, I totally appreciate it. And, you know, honestly, it's people like you that really make it worthwhile for us. We truly appreciate the fans and all the promoters and the radio and that support us. And trust me, we need it, and we love you guys for it. We really do. It means a lot that you get behind the band still and that you appreciate what we do. And that's why we want to come out and see you. And if we do play in the area, you have my number now, so you just hang on to it and contact me and say, hey, I'm going to be at this show. I'll make sure you get in, no problem. Just so you hang on to my number, log it into your phone, and I hopefully we will get to meet each other face to face.